What's going on, family? Welcome to the latest installment, Tuesday's TSC Unleashed. We're in the building, family. Good to see y'all in the live chat. Who that? To the family members chiming in on this edition of TSC Unleashed, Tuesday edition. I'm Big Q chiming in, and TSC Unleashed is usually we talk about sports outside of the realm of our beloved black and gold Pelicans as well. So thank y'all for joining me Tuesday afternoon, man. Usually coming at you the one way at 1 o'clock. We pushed it back a little bit. Had a few things we had to do. But big ups to Brian Pearson, Tragic 504, Brother Jerry, Tyra. What's up, Tyra? Robert Clark and the rest of the family members as they come chiming in on this edition of TSC Unleashed. I'm going to be talking about some things, man. Going to recap the NFL, recap Monday Night Football, man. We're going to talk about the two matchups that happened Monday night. And it was interesting. And, of course, we talked about that. The Steelers and the Giants matchup, Titans-Broncos. We also going to preview tonight's matchup. That'll happen 5:40 Central Time. Heat Celtics. And that's the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Denver Nuggets and Clippers later on tonight in the primetime spot. And this one is for the opportunity to take on the Los Angeles Lakers, who are sitting there waiting. Will it be an all-LA affair, like the people anticipating, Leonard versus LeBron? Or will the Nuggets spoil the dance? We'll see. We'll talk about that. Also, Toronto feeling real good about themselves after pushing the Celtics to a 7-game series. They ultimately send out their coach. We'll give you some information about that. And of course, football is Nebraska in the Big Ten talking about a decision with their season today. We'll give you an article. We'll read and break down that little college football. And then we'll talk about MLB, MLBPA, and Major League Baseball is coming to a decision on playing the playoffs. How? In a bubble setting? Maybe they learned something from the NBA, man. As the NBA had great success in doing that, man. I tell you what, man, I would have my reservations, but the NBA's done a hell of a job, man. Much love to the NBA. Big ups to them and what they were able to do. Once again, I am Big Q. My host is Mozzie5. He hasn't chimed in yet. He's supposed to be here, but we'll see what happens if he'll make it or not. Anyway, let's keep it going, family. We're going to jump right off into it. Steelers, 26-16 win over the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. Real interesting as Big Ben got it going. Now, you know Big Ben, man, was out there scrambling and moving around. I was like, Big Ben showing that he can still move. 21 of 22 in the matchup, 229. He finished with 3 touchdowns. He was sacked a couple of times. But Big Ben overall had a pretty decent play. Benny Snell Jr., 19 carries for 113 yards in the matchup. And y'all remember Benny Snell from his days at Kentucky. He was the fantastic flashing running back that the that the Kentucky Wildcat Club had. And I wanted to see what this kid was doing in the pro ranks, and he looked really good in the Steelers offense. 19 carries, 113, averaged almost 6 yards a carry. Juju Smith-Schuster, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns on 6 catches off of 6 targets. Pretty good. Juju Smith-Schuster, listen, in 2 years compared to Mike Thomas, hey, listen, sooner or later, I'm going to give you all these numbers. Might break these numbers down tonight on TSC Q&A at 6 o'clock on our Patreon channel for our Patreon members and YouTube members and our Patreon champions. Man, listen, Juju Smith-Schuster's numbers are pretty immaculate, pretty good when compared to Michael Thomas's numbers of the last 2 years. I'm just saying, pretty good. Dante Johnson, 6 catches, 57 yards off of 10 carries in the matchup. And do you look at Chase Claypool, a guy that a lot of people wanted us to draft in the draft. He had 2 catches for 29 yards. James Washington finished with 2 catches for 29 yards in the matchup as well. You look at a few more things on defense as Terrell Edmonds led the team in tackles with 9. On the other side, Daniel Jones, my fantasy quarterback, they gave him some good value. But 26 of 41 for 279. He had 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, sacked 3 times. Of course, we still know the Giants are a work in progress, but Daniel Jones is the truth, man. Let me tell you the truth. He's the truth. He just needs to get the rest of the team behind him. Saquon Barkley on shutdown, 15 carries, 6 yards. Won't happen that way, fam. That won't happen that way. You won't get it. Darius Slayton was the top target for the Giants, 6 catches, 102 yards. Saquon had 6 for 90 as well. Slayton had 6. They still need to develop those wide receivers. I do like Sterling Shepard out there, but listen, 26-16, the Giants go down. Steelers, if they can stay healthy, we'll see what happens, man. But they've been running the same look for the last few years. All right, going to the next contest, the Titans in a close contest with the Denver Broncos. Uncle Mozzie picked the Broncos to come out with this one, but they struggled in this one. Ryan Tannehill, 29-43, 249, 2 touchdowns in the matchup. Derrick Henry, 31 carries, 116. So let me get this straight. Tannehill, he had 43 attempts, 29 of 43, 6 yards per throw. Derrick Henry now, 31 carries for 116 average, just under 4 yards a rush, no touchdowns. Top man was Corey Davis, 7 catches, 101. Adam Humphrey, 6 catches for 47, and A.J. Brown had 5 catches for 39. They were pretty much minimized. Denver's defense did a pretty decent job. Drew Lock didn't step up and show enough. No touchdowns, no interceptions. 23 of 33, 216. Melvin Gordon, 15 carries, 78 yards. Noah Fant, 5 catches, 81 yards, 1 touchdown for the Denver Broncos. Jerry Jeudy stepped up, 4 catches, 56 yards in the matchup as well. But 16-14 in the last minute, the Tennessee Titans was able to kick their asses out of there. And Denver starts the season 0-1. Titans sneak out a win on Monday night. So really interesting Monday night football action going on. Let's move into the NBA Pro Ranks, man, on this one. The Miami Heat versus the Boston Celtics. This is a matchup for the Eastern Conference Finals matchup. The unsung Heat in the position where a lot of people didn't think they were going to beat. A lot of people believed the Milwaukee Bucks was going to take it. Heat walked right on through having fun. Do they keep the streak going? The Celtics took care of business in 7 against the defending champion Raptors. Jaylen Brown stepping up with Jason Tatum. Dude is awesome, man. I mean, this is when you see him become a superstar. The Celtics are really riding off of him in a really well-coached team that they are. Spoelstra, 2 really good coaches. This will be an excellent matchup between 2 guys that know how to play chess here. I'm just going to keep it real. 2 really excellent teams, even though the Heat's defense is real good with Bam Adebayo, like how he's playing. Jimmy Butler's playing on another level right now. Remember, they still have Iguodala coming off the bench performing. I mean, Kendrick Nunn. We talk a lot of basketball, but Kendrick Nunn's big. Not to mention Goran Dragic has been playing really well. Like I said, the Heat is special. But the Celtics, I like the Celtics in this one. I won't lie to you. Jason Tatum, I just think he'll step up, and I like what the Celtics do, but it will be a good matchup because these teams mirror each other in philosophy, as each one of them will battle in Game 1 for the Eastern Conference. I get the advantage to the Celtics. What do you say, family? Who do you think wins that first game between the Heat and Celtics? Let me know in the chat. All right, let's keep it going. The Denver Nuggets, 8 o'clock tonight, Central Time, looking to spoil that all-Clipper Western Conference final that a lot of people picked that they were supposed to do, right? Denver, man, they've been doing this stuff big time. The last 2 series, actually the last 4 series in the playoffs, they pushed teams to 7 games. They came back 10 back. They came back 2 back to even the series off. Absolutely amazing, to be honest with your family. I won't tell you no different. I was really impressed about the Denver Nuggets. So, I understand that the Denver Nuggets have been a team that, that's basically had 9 lives. It's pretty much what it is. So, it is what it is. But Uncle Mozzie has been ranting and raving about this Denver Nugget club. So, I wonder what he would say about his Denver team and what they would do against the Clippers tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time, according to ESPN. I wonder what he would say. Let's ask him. Uncle Mozzie, here's your opportunity to brag and talk all the stuff in your braggadocious way about being a Swami and all this kind of stuff. What do you think about the matchup tonight? And remember, anything can happen in Game 7.
Anything goes. Well, I just left. I was on Google a little while ago, trying to find. I went to the big word dictionary to try to find the biggest words I could use to let everybody know just how intelligent and smart I am when it comes to anything sports. It don't matter what it is. It could be anything from cockroach racing to the NFL, MLB playoffs. It don't matter. You can't miss me. Look, I told y'all this 3 weeks ago, before the playoffs even started, who it was going to be and what time it was. And all y'all laughed at me. Y'all laughed at my Boston pick. Y'all definitely laughed at my Denver pick. Oh, they got LA in LA, man. You crazy. Listen, I've been doing this too long, man. I told y'all I do this for bread and meat. I don't win, I don't eat. So listen, it's no secret what's going to happen tonight. Game 7, anything's possible. They have absolutely no answer for the Joker at all, none whatsoever. He's too big, he's too mobile, he's too skilled and athletic. He's a baby Hakeem Olajuwon. That's what it is, and nobody has an answer for him. Millsap gonna get going tonight. Michael Porter Jr. is gonna get going tonight. Michael Porter Jr. is gonna get going tonight. Murray's gonna get going tonight. It's over with. It's over with. I just do not see a scenario in which the Clippers come out after having these people on the road 3-1, thinking that they could almost smell the Lakers on the floor. They just knew they had this in the bag. And upon further review, the Joker said no. The Joker wanted to know why they were so serious. The Joker wanted to know where Batman was. Because evidently the Claw wasn't doing the job. PG-13 not doing the job. None of these all-brand players that y'all reveled and marveled over the last year, Pat Bev and all these great value second-tier players. I told y'all, man, great value, don't put great value on my sandwich. I've been telling y'all that. Y'all try to go out and recruit 2 name brands, but y'all got a team full of great values. And what happens with a team full of great values? You get up 3-1 and you lose. Just like Utah did, my great value team is just a little bit better than your great value team. So, y'all need to really go to Amazon and pick up my book, How to Select Winners. How to Select Winners and Stay Away from Losers by Uncle Mozzie. That's my new book, the New York Times bestseller list. I try to tell y'all don't want to listen, but from now on, if y'all need any advice, y'all playing the white sheets, or if y'all going to the sports books in Biloxi, or if y'all playing on the internet, just ring my phone, let me know, and I got your locks already picked.
Okamasi talking big stuff. I hope the Nuggets can cash that check that that you throwing up there right there. They've done really well though, man, to be honest with you, man. But the Nuggets, man, I got to give them credit. To come 2 back, man, is big. I've said that. For them to do it, they did it last series against Utah. You go back to last year, they did it a couple of times last year. They don't have any problems going into 7, but sooner or later that catches up with you. But the Clippers, the breakdown, having an opportunity to put the Nuggets away twice, staving off elimination, a psychological advantage, in my opinion, goes to the Nuggets, being that the Clippers couldn't beat them in 2 straight attempts to knock them off. All they needed was a win to eliminate them, and they couldn't do it. So right now, the Nuggets are riding a high. I kept saying, who's the third scorer for the Denver Nuggets to help them secure it? And you've seen Gary Harris step up there here and there. And I didn't think it was Gary Harris, but you've seen a Joker. You've seen Murray coming alive. But Michael Porter Jr. is the dude, man. 7 foot tall. He could score the ball. He had issues from last year. They drafted this kid and they were worrying about his back. He appears to have come through it with flying colors. I mean, he could score the ball, man. And he's a guy that hopefully they can give him some more time to see what he can do. But they were looking for a third scorer. If they can get him involved, it could be really tough for the Clippers. But I still got to ride with the Clippers because of Leonard and because of PG-13, man. I got to ride with the Clippers, man. I got to ride with them because even though I like what the Nuggets are doing, I think Doc Rivers ultimately wins the matchup against Coach Malone. And it'll be an all-LA affair on the Western Conference like many people predicted, including myself. All right, let's move on to the next matchup. Mozzie, actually, before we move, I already did the Heat-Celtics matchup that's going on. Before that game, what's your thought process on the Heat and Celtics? Who wins that one?
Really, to be honest, I mean, I love both of these teams. I don't really have a winner or a loser. I've already won. And I'll tell you why, because I'm a man who loves the underdog. I love to knock down the big bad bully who everybody is rallying around and already crowned king. I told you got to find that clip. You got to find that Denny Green clip, and we got to play it. You've been ducking and dodging me for about a week on that, but I firmly believe in that. I don't believe in crowning winners and losers just out the gate like that and crowning somebody champ or king because everybody said so. And both of these teams are a testament to exactly what I believe in, Boston and Miami. So I would honestly like Boston to win, just because I've been more of a fan fave of Boston ever since the Isaiah Thomas resurgence they had about 3 or 4 years ago, when that failed experiment happened and they brought Kyrie over the next season. I've really been an advocate of Boston since then. I love Jason Tatum. Think he's the next level superstar here moving forward, especially after this year with his team as a whole. Moving forward the next 5 to 10 years, they will be the team to beat in the East. Why? Because they've done everything in-house. They've drafted well. They picked up free agents well. They've made good moves across the board systematically, and this is the end result of it. Same thing with Miami. And none of these people have done it with a glorified, overpaid superstars. These people have done it with grassroots drafting and free agency, old school stuff that I love. And, so to me, it doesn't matter which one of these teams win. I've already won as far as the Eastern Conference is concerned. And when the Clippers fall to the Nuggets tonight, I'll really have won across the board.
All right, we'll monitor that, and we'll be back tomorrow to make sure it falls that way. If not, boy, you're going to hear from me. All right, let's talk about the Toronto Raptors and what they did. Of course, they get eliminated there by the Celtics in 7, that's no shame in that. And there's also no shame in the Toronto Raptors saying we're not going to do like so many other teams, the Indiana Pacers, the Houston Rockets, the OKC Thunder. We're going to lay out a multi-year extension to our fantastic coach, who is a very unsung coach, one of those coaches that came from the ground up, Nick Nurse. And the Raptors have decided to extend out the reigning coach of the year to a multi-year contract extension, as announced by Tuesday. And they're saying that Nick Nurse will get a multi-year deal. Let's see what it says. The past 2 seasons have been unlike any other in our team's history. First winning our championship, then navigating the pandemic, committing long-term to the fight against racism for Joseph Justice. Nick has proved that he can coach on the court and lead in life, and we're looking forward to accomplishing great things in the future. That came from the Raptors president, Masai Ujiri. He released a statement there letting them know that Nurse is a former Raptors assistant for 5 seasons, has 111 wins and 43 losses in 2 seasons as a head coach, and guided the franchise to his first title last year. Toronto went 53-13 this season and was the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference before losing to the Celtics in 7 games. What Coach Nurse said was, "My family and I will always be appreciative of Larry Tannenbaum and the MLSE ownership of this opportunity. I'm grateful to Masai, who's the general manager, and the players for their trust and their hard work." As he released a statement right there, the terms of the deal weren't readily available, but they did extend him to a multi-year deal. So congratulations to that coach on being successful. Also, other news that Mozzie sent me, which was yesterday, I think Mozzie talked about the fact that the Bucks, how Giannis unfriended all of his Bucks teammates. He's upset.
That's so childish and petty, bro. I swear.
And it just goes to Giannis, but the Bucks tell Giannis that they will spend to build around him, and it was bucking, and it was rumors circulating that he was looking at joining the Miami Heat next year. And the Bucks payroll will be close to, $133 million in luxury threshold for 2020 and 2021. And they're saying, and they're telling his agents that they will spend to build a roster around Giannis. The question is, Mozzie, do you think that's enough to sway Giannis for staying in there or not? What do you think?
Nope. He's out. He gone. Golden State of the B. Check the Instagram. I already put up Giannis in the Golden State uniform. Over at the a Pros Life page on Instagram. You can see it right there, live in a living color, where you can see how he's gonna look next year in that beautiful, artistic number 34 for Golden State on their way to just owning the entire NBA for a decade, for the next decade. Where Giannis is a part of that team, man. So y'all can see it first how it's gonna look, so y'all can get prepared for whenever we kick off next season. I don't know how they're gonna run it, but I know they're gonna run it. And when they do, I've already put up for all your viewing pleasure what Giannis is going to look like in that Golden State uniform next season.
Well, I mean, that's interesting, to be honest with you, man, because that sounds like a Kevin Durant move to me. and that's not going to be respected. He leave a small market for, I guess you could say, the bright lights of Golden State. I don't know how that's going to work. Also heard rumors circulating around him in Miami. So I don't know, man. You look like this offseason, you've seen a lot of cracks in the armors with Giannis, as opposed to the previous seasons. You just seen an ascension of his talents, but this could possibly be this guy's lacking leadership abilities. And you could see that a major flaws when it was time for the leadership to step up with Milwaukee. It was role players like George Hill was leading, and he was way in the back somewhere. So I mean, it's amazing, but we'll see. That's interesting. Anyway, let's move to a little college football, family. We have a few more topics to go over with you. Nebraska official called on a hot mic saying Big Ten football decision coming Tuesday, 2 days after the Big Ten presidents and the chancellors met to review information about a possible football season. University of Nebraska system president Ted Carter was caught on a hot mic. Watch them damn hot mics, saying that the announcement will come later Tuesday. Carter was speaking to Bob Henson, who's the director of the National Strategic Research Institute, before a news conference Tuesday in Lincoln, Nebraska, saying, quote, "We're getting ready to announce the Huskies in Big Ten football tonight," Carter told Henson on the video posted by KETV television in Omaha. Then they said, quote, "Oh, really?" Henson replied, "I heard that was happening. There's a lot of anticipation about that. Good for you. Maybe that will get you off your plate," end quote. Answer Carter, quote, "It'll never will, but it's good. It's a good move in the right direction," end quote. Carter, who is not one of the 14 presidents and chancellors who will vote on the decision, was later asked about the conversation made that was done on the hot mic. He says, "I think that was picked up a little out of context," he told the television station. "All I said, there's work going on, and we'll remain cautiously optimistic like everybody else. We'll get to discover what is safe to play." Now, the Big Ten could not immediately confirm the announcement, but the league's entire council of presidents and chancellors met for several hours Sunday afternoon with members of the return competition task force who reviewed the latest medical information about a safe resumption of play during the C-19 season, as well as plans for rescheduling in television. The medical subcommittee task force also met Saturday with 8 presidents and chancellors, including Ronnie Green and Chancellor University of Nebraska-Lincoln. So a lot of stuff is going on as the Big Ten is really kind of trying to see if they can line themselves up for a possible a season. If they do, they lose a lot of revenue, and possibly you could lose a lot of talent who'll try to maybe see if they can transfer out. But often ask the question, if they vote not to have it, can a team that wants to perform, that wants to play, can they then opt out of the conference for that year and go to another conference to play? Man, it's up in the air when you start talking about what we're seeing today. So we'll see what happens with the Big Ten later on and see if this story it has legs or not. All right, move it. Maz, you want to comment on that before I get into the MLB story?
No. I mean, I knew once the rest of the conference kicked off and everybody saw that it was kind of just like overkill, because I guess they wanted to be innovative or trend setting, and nobody wanted to be talked about or frowned upon. They prematurely decided, like, oh no, we're going to go with the popular status quo and not have football, which was a gross, horrible negligence on their part. And I mean, they see where it can work. NFL's done it, the NBA's done it, MLB's doing it, and NCAA has been doing it for the last couple of weeks. And, so far, so good. So now that money is starting to touch their back, that booster money, those sponsorships, it's starting to touch their back. And now I think that they're starting to finally see that maybe they jumped the gun a little too early on this.
Well, they definitely did, and that's why they're forced to come back to the table and make some decisions, man. So we'll see how it shakes, man, because a lot of people are moving and shaking. The environment is not quite what it was early on when a lot of these decisions were knee-jerk reactions early on. All right, let's move into the MLB, Major League Baseball, for the show. Second time we've done that. Major League Baseball and its players' unions have reached out with an agreement on playing this year's postseason in the bubble setting. Now, this was confirmed by ESPN and several other news outlets. And The Athletic earlier reported that MLB and the MLB Players Association have agreed and reached that agreement, and reported on Friday that under the plan, which awaited any of the players' approval, is that the World Series would start October the 20th at Global Life Field in Arlington, Texas, and would end no later than October the 28th. It would be culminating a month worth of playoff games that would begin with the top 4 seeds in each league hosting all of the games in the best of 3 wild card series. The 4 American League series will run from September the 29th, September 30th, and October the 1st, and the National League would play September the 30th, October the 1st, and October the 2nd. Tuesday agreement will allow family members to join the players as early as the division series. They will need to quarantine for a week before then taking a charter to the division series site. Everyone inside the bubble will be tested daily for the C virus, according to sources. The highest remaining seed in the NL would play in this division series in Arlington, and the next highest seed would face its opponents at Houston's Minute Maid Park. The top seed from the AL will be the home team at San Diego's Petco Park, and the other series will be held at the Los Angeles Dodgers Stadium. The AL Championship Series will take place in San Diego, and the NLCS in Arlington, giving the NL's top seed likely the Los Angeles Dodgers a path to a stationary October. So how about that? How about that, family? To say the least about MLB making agreement with its players to conduct its playoffs in a bubble environment. So how about that? All right, Mozzie, man, that was really interesting to say the least about Major League, because you got to look at what the NBA has done, and they've done a terrific job nonetheless doing that. Now, a little football news, Saints related for the family members. The Saints are listed as 6.5-point road favorites in Week 2 over the Raiders. How about that? Both the Saints and Vegas won their Week 1 debuts over the Buccaneers and the Panthers, and now they're on the collision course in Week 2 Monday Night Football. All eyes will be on the Darth Vader-esque Allegiant, or whatever you call it. I can't pronounce it. Allegiant Stadium, where the Saints helped the Raiders open their home field. The Saints are favored to win this one, unfortunately for the Raiders, and the sports books, the odd makers, have the Saints winning their first game on the road by 6.5. Taken, with the under the 51 and a half points that suggest that the final score in the neighborhood will be 29-22 advantage Saints. On the 2 games, have a higher over and under a matchup between the winless Atlanta Falcons and Dallas matchup, the high-profile duel of Lamar Jackson against Deshaun Watson. For context, the Saints offense scored 27 on a very good Buccaneers defense in Week 1, helped out with Jenkins' interception return for a touchdown. Meanwhile, the Raiders hung 34 on the Panthers, fueled by Josh Jacobs' 3 rushing touchdowns. So we may be in for fireworks in prime time, and that should be good for fans and bettors that are all both excited. So how y'all like that? Vegas is favoring the Saints by 6.5 over the Las Vegas Raiders. Mozzie, you want to chime in? That seems to be your area of expertise, my friend. What do you think about that? Mozzie, you still with us? I think we might have lost him. All right, well, let's keep it moving, family. That'll do it for the rest of the show. We'll see you guys a little later on TSC Q&A for the Patreon and our YouTube members. We'll be doing the show tonight at 6 o'clock on Patreon. If you're a YouTube member, you'll get the link as well. Patreon champions also get the link. So if you want to join us for TSC Q&A, sign up for Patreon or become a YouTube member and meet us tonight, as we will open up the lines and we'll talk some football. We'll play a few more clips, like similar to what I did yesterday. We'll have some fun. TSC Q&A tonight on Patreon. Please sign up if you're not already there. And also today, to let the family members know that we'll return with TSC Unleashed Wednesday edition, and we'll recap the playoffs, the NBA playoffs. So today we'll have some more football news, basketball news, as well as you know how we do. So thank you guys for joining us today. Crass, Sat Scott, JT, Brock Pace, Brian Pearson, Uncle Paul is in the building, Tramal Kellup, and all the family members. Jason King, I see your family. Tyra, Tragic 504, Brother Jerry, Robert Clark, and everybody. Thank y'all for joining us. Please hit the like button and share the link in your social media. I'm BQ and Uncle Mozzie chiming in, and I'll see you guys later. Peace and much love to you.